in the game of life.
I actually had quite a difficult time determining what the absolute worst course in this game was. There were just so many contenders for the coveted status of being the absolute bottom of the barrel out of all 96 tracks. It was a close race, but ultimately, I have to give this slot to the one track I absolutely cannot stand more than any other in this game. The remake that pisses me off to no end because of how thoroughly it butchers the entire appeal of its original version. The worst course in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is GBA Sunset Wilds. I mean, what the fuck, Nintendo? Generally, this game has been really good at reimagining the tracks from Super Circuit and bringing them into the modern day. So, isn't it cool that one of the most beloved courses from that game is still flat? Aside from 2 small hills at the end, they added no elevation whatsoever. They couldn't even be bothered to lift these boost panels any higher than not at all. This feels more like a remake of a Super Nintendo track than the actual Super Nintendo track remakes. It's even complete with those dumb multicolor blocks that horribly clash with the track's aesthetic. They also obviously removed the Shy Guy tents, probably for the best, but they didn't replace them with something nearly as interesting. It's just regular dancing Shy Guys who make for far less memorable obstacles. There are awkward mud slicks, I guess? I don't even know what these are because the texture's so weird looking. It's just such a nothing inclusion of a course. Like, the good music is the only thing holding this one together. Well, that and its most famous gimmick, the sun setting as the laps progress. I can't wait to see that in glorious HD. Where's the sunset? Are you fucking kidding me? It's the one thing I expected this remake to have. The whole point of Sunset Wilds is that the sun fucking sets. It's like the one thing it knows how to do. The sun not only set in the GBA version of this track, but it also set in the Mario Kart Tour version of this track. You know, the mobile phone game that Mario Kart 8 ported the Booster Course Pass tracks over from. So if they could achieve this effect on a 32-bit handheld system and a mobile phone game, why in the sweet name of Shigeru Miyamoto could they not achieve this effect in an HD remake of this track released in the year of our Lord 2023 as a DLC edition to the 6th highest grossing video game of all time? But the lighting system in Mario Kart 8 doesn't allow the sun to dynamically set. Are you fucking stupid? Are you implying that the experienced programmers at Nintendo could not find a workaround for this in order to keep the most crucial gimmick intact for one of the most popular courses from Mario Kart Super Circuit? I'm gonna assume that they very well could have made the sunset, and they just didn't have enough time to figure it out because of the Booster Course Pass's release schedule. Or maybe they just never cared about including it since it still hasn't been added after Wave 6 dropped. Either way, if they knew they couldn't make this key element of Sunset Wilds work, then why the f*** did they decide to bring this course back? I would have sooner taken any other remake of any other course over this absolute bastardization of one of my favorite GBA tracks. I hate this remake more than words could possibly express, and I never elect to play on it under any circumstances. Unless, of course, I need to write up a detailed report of why this track is the absolute worst in all of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. With that said, the music saves it from being F tier, so congrats for only being D tier, buddy! You did it! Good job! But don't just take my word for it. Why don't we grab an item box and see which YouTuber can help me drag Sunset Wild's name through the mud? Looks like it's GetMadz.
GBA Sunset Wilds without the sunset? What next? Deep Cut without Big Man? Rhythm Heaven without Hubert? Crocs without the funny holes in them? So many people were hyping this track up to being a banger. So when it turns out to just be alright, and it's missing a crucial part of its identity, its perception goes from one of the best tracks stuck on the GBA to one of the best tracks stuck on the GBA! This is a deepfake! This track's perception is ruined for veterans and disappointing to newcomers. Just play Mario Kart Stadium instead.